I also realized that last week, a lot of times I do a contest and I tell you to answer a question, and I forget to answer the question. And I really, really meant to answer the last question, which was, if you could speak to anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And, I mean, everything you guys wrote was really, really touching. Um, and I know one person said Jesus, and we can talk to the Lord anytime, but if I know this is crazy, it would be great if I could talk face to face with Jesus. But I think always the biggest burning question on my mind is, um, why roaches? Why? Why? I know that if we didn't have roaches, the earth would be overrun with garbage, but roaches are like little terrorists who overrun your house. Why roaches? But I know that's silly. But I also thought about my abuelita and my titiana, my paternal grandmother and aunt. I miss them so much. They were the only ones that I actually spoke Spanish with and practiced my Spanish. And they passed away like five. One passed away like 5 years ago. One passed away like 8 years ago. Um, and they were the only ones I really spoke Spanish with, and I realize I'm forgetting my Spanish. But I think that if there was one person I would like to speak to, it would be my maternal grandmother, because she had a very unhappy childhood. She had an unhappy life. She, if I understand correctly, she when she married my grandfather, it was because she got pregnant. And my grandmother was very spirited and full of life, and my grandfather was very quiet, and he liked to stay home and she liked to go out and party. And unfortunately, her going out and partying made her meet a not so nice guy. And she left my grandfather for, God forgive me, one of the biggest pieces of garbage that I've ever met in my life. He was an evil, mean man, and he didn't treat her too good. I don't know why she traded in a good man for a bad man, but she was never happy, and she used to drink a lot. I was her firstborn grandchild, so she loved me a lot, and I spent a lot of time with her. But when I got to be a teenager, I kind of got tired of it. I just want to hang out. When we become teenagers, we become self absorbed, and I just wanted to hang out. I don't want to sit there and listen to old school Spanish music, and I want to listen to my cool music. And I lived with my paternal grandmother, so I was always with her. But I didn't spend a lot of time with my maternal grandmother, and she was very unhappy. And sometimes she would get really, really drunk and just put me on her lap, because I visited her every Sunday, and just cry and cry and cry, say that I was the only person who truly loved her as a child. So as a teenager, I kind of strayed away from that, and she tried. And I mean, I have my own story. I ran away from home at 16, got pregnant at 17. So by 18, I was a mother with a baby, and I got married at 16 actually, and so went through a horrible marriage, got a divorce. When I came back, I was just again so involved in my own problems that I neglected her, and she tried so hard to spend time with me, and I was like, I don't have time. I don't have time, as I just wish that I could realize. I realized then, obviously what I realize now, and that she just wanted to be with me, and I found it like an um I wouldn't say a nuisance or a burden, but I just didn't have the time for it. And I would tell her, I was like, I don't have time, I don't have time. And but I was always with my paternal grandmother, and she felt bad because I didn't spend enough time with her. And she was always depressed, and she'd say, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And I heard that, kind of like the boy who cried wolf. For over 10 years, I did. I was like, you're not gonna die. Abuelita, my paternal grandmother, she's going to die. She's like 20, 30 years older than you, but you're not going to die. You're still young. And I just remembered that I forgot to call her for Mother's Day, and my mother was on my case. You need to call Granny. You need to call Granny. Because my memory of her was right after I read Little Red Riding Hood, so I called her Granny. And I was like, I'm gonna call Granny. I'm gonna call Granny again. Filled with life's problems, I was just absorbed in my own life, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna call her this weekend. And I get a call telling me that she had passed, and one of my biggest regrets in life was that I didn't spend enough time with her. So if there was anyone that I couldn't see again, it would be her. And I would tell her that I'm sorry and that I love her. Okay. So cherish your family. If you still have your grandmother, I know that there are people in life that, grandmothers who have been mean, or grandfathers who have been mean, or parents who have been mean. I realize that. But you need to cherish the ones that you have. Cherish the ones that you love, and don't neglect to tell them that you love them. Don't neglect to spend time with them. A lot of times the older generation gets forgotten. They get stuck in homes. They never see their family. They're all lonely. And so cherish them. So I actually said all this to say that I want to do another contest. Oh my goodness, I'm crazy. I want to do another contest.